Welcome back to my lure box, folks. We're at AFTA 2024. I'm going to take you around to have a look at all the good stuff this year. But look, I'm not just filming it. I've got a stand here this year. I've released 2 new lures in the last couple of weeks. These are my paddle glides. These are my jack burner lures. There's a whole lot of details coming on these lures on my channel over the next couple of months. I've got a couple of launch videos. If you haven't seen those, I'll link those below. But we're going to go around and have a look at all the other good stuff on show this year at AFTA 2024. Let's get into it. Jackall's always got the goods here. This little thing.
Yeah, that's exciting, that one, isn't it?
Tommy hasn't caught a topwater bass yet.
He's going to get one on that.
This is what he's going to do it on this season. I can't wait to take him down the back of those little creeks. It's a hybrid. It's got a hard front end, like a cicada, and then it's got a soft little back end. Beautiful little finesse hooks, tournament grade stuff.
Really nice colours there too,
Yeah. Cranking down the rock walls around Coomera and Nerang River, I definitely have to get my hands on some of this stuff, and I'm going to bring it to you in reviews as the year goes on. The water heats up, I'll be throwing some of these in the creeks. Tiny little slow sinking jointed, like a little glide, mate. All this stuff, I'm excited for some bass fishing because Tommy hasn't done it. I want him to feel that aggression from a bass and the bites that you get when you're fishing really light gear. Some of this Jackall stuff is the best you're going to find for those bass. All right, let's keep going. We're here at my Mossi stand. The quality of the gear that they've brought to AFTA this year is as good as any. They've won some Best in Show awards. They've got the best small stand. We're going to take a look at it. Come in here and have a look at all their gear. Let's go. This 190 Beta, I showed you that in the Best in Show preview. Take a look at some of the finishes on these big stick baits. These guys come to the show this year with the most artistic creations and artwork on the wall. I want to take you across, take a look at some of this stuff. This is something that's going to be coming to you guys in the next few months with reviews. They're little echoes. I'm going to be fishing these across the flats. There's going to be reviews coming of these. They're going to be whiting lollies for me. Can't wait to be fishing those. I want to see what you're into.
With the warmer months coming up, this one here for mangrove jack, as a land-based fisher, that makes me very excited. Really nice cut face on the front of it. It's going to move some water, and I think that might be my top water. That's my favourite way to chase jacks, and that might be the one this year.
Gold. All right. Just let's have a look at that componentry too for a jack, mate, I think. What do you reckon?
I reckon straight out of the box, bro. Yeah.
When we walked through Best in Show the other day, there was some other of these guys' products that you were rating. What do you like?
I reckon
what else have they got?
Mate, these metals, I reckon for your giant herring, tarpon in the landlocked lakes, trevally, tailor off the beach are going to be fantastic.
Wicked. Now you've started fishing for tailor off the beach back in the day. Is that how you got
I cut my teeth with lure fishing, was chasing tailor on floods, and I'm going to get back and do a little bit more of it. And,
awesome. It's not something that I've done much of, mate. The offshore and the beach fishing is something that I definitely need to do a little bit more of.
I think the giant herring and tarpon, I did a fair bit of that years ago in the landlocked lakes, and that is definitely...
So what's that? The Marksman 10 gram, mate?
Yeah, the 10 gram one would be picked for the landlocked lakes, and then you've got your 20, 40, 80 for your tailor off the rocks and the beach.
What do you like about it that's different?
I love the look of it. It flutters on the drop.
Wow.
Beautiful componentry as well, obviously, full BKK.
Right.
One of them lures you just tie straight on your line and you're in the game.
Nomad's over here, mate. Do you want to just show us through, talking on land-based, do you just want to show us through what Nomad have brought? This is something that we saw at Best in Show, mate.
This one here is very exciting, I reckon. I probably fish now 50% out of the boat, 50% land-based.
Right.
And I've been through a lot of tackle bags over the years, and I think this one is really exciting.
Is this going to be it, I reckon?
Yep.
Yeah.
The zipper is the biggest thing for me.
Right.
I always have dramas with zippers. I carry a lot of gear. I try and carry something for every situation.
Right.
And having that seal over the top of the zipper, I definitely can see myself getting a lot more time out of it.
So is that because they're all getting like water affected and rusting
it's not
out?
as bad land-based, but then you jump on like a boat with yourself and you get that spray.
Yeah.
And I probably should be more onto it with looking after the zips, but I'm not.
I could have got a bigger boat.
Yeah, and I can tell I don't have to do a thing with those.
Yeah.
I love the idea that I can have the backpack on and you can unclip this and I can clip it to me front. So if I wanted leader, a lure, something hands on me, scent's probably the biggest thing would come into that for me. So you just unzip, put your scent on, put it straight back in.
Sick.
I really, that's one of my favourites.
Are you going to take me land-based? I need to learn a bit of land-based this summer.
I think we might go and try and get a tailor off the beach or the rocks.
All right.
Yep.
Wicked.
But I think That's one of my top picks for the
All
show that suits
Right.
the style of fishing that I do.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so for land-based fishers, there's a piece of kit.
Definitely.
We're going to see that on Jai's
all-
back in the coming months.
I
And
did see as well that it's got a drink bottle holder that's insulated.
oh wow,
There's a
rightio.
sunglass holder in the top as well.
Gold. All right, mate. That's epic. Thanks for that. Well, we might keep kicking around. There's heaps more to see.
Yeah.
Folks, this has got to be my favourite stand to check out every year. Now, they've just won the best reel in show. There's some new rods in their range. I've fished the Zodias for years. The Raider rods, they're my skip casting rods for mangrove jack. My new lure this year that I've released is about getting those mangrove jack out of the cover. So we're going to take a look at those rods and the new reel. Shimano's got some great stuff on offer. Let's go. Jai. These are the brand new Vanfords. Now this 3000 has become my favourite reel for spinning in the creeks, and as a light setup that I take up to the dams for chasing those big barra, this can handle those barra. It's amazing how light these are, and to fish all day with something like this, it just makes life a whole lot easier, especially when you're throwing long casts all day and lots of work on the reel. Vanfords are my favourite. In the creeks, the drag's super smooth at that ever so light range where you've got light line and you don't want a sticky drag. It's the Vanford for me. They've released a tiny little one. Take a look at this. That's new to the range, the little 500, chasing tiny little fish in the creeks, wild bass fishing with little plastics and things. Beautiful reels. They're my favourite in the estuaries. Now, the estuary range of rods that they've got this year, come and take a look at that. These Zodias rods, the build on these and the feel that you get when you're chasing that flathead bite right through to the butt of the rod. It's an amazingly sensitive rod, beautiful casting. I just love fishing it. The lightness of this rod combined with a Vanford, that's my go-to combo. It's been years and years that I've been running these same rods. Now, they've just released, I'm excited for this because the brim fishing I do with Tommy in the canals, this is the kind of thing that I'm going to be using from now on, this little thing here. They are so light and the reel seats are beautiful. The construction's incredible. They look amazing. You're going to see a lot of these on my channel in the coming months. This is new from Shimano. Now Shimano have just released a new range in their Squidgies lineup. It's called the Ridge Shad. Comes in a couple of different sizes. We're going to take a look at that. Yeah, I
like that.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Me too.
For flatty, I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Get some reviews on that one.
They've done really well with their colour range on
They
this
have,
time
mate.
round, mate.
Yeah, it's good,
Off that. That is.
Yeah. Up the back of creeks, this is something I can't wait to be fishing this season. It's called the panic prawn, and it's got a little top water face here that you can just send it across the surface, and it's got like a little fleeing action. Beautiful colours on this thing. Construction, just like a little prawn. Take a look at that. Super catchy hooks. Look at the finish on that. The profile like a little prawn. I'm going to be throwing this thing around the flats this year. There's one other lure that Tommy's obsessed with. Come in and take a look at it. We've also got some cod stuff here too this year. The other top water lure that Tommy's obsessed with are little frogs. Now, these guys have brought out this little frog that sits on the surface. It's called a flexi frog. The tail action on this, it's a TPE material. Sending this in against the mangroves, or right up the back of little creeks for bass. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I think Tommy's going to get his first top water bass on something like that coming in this channel in the next few months. Folks, we're here at the Samaki stand. I've got Tommy Wood with me. He's going to walk us through some of the new stuff from Samaki. Thanks, Tommy.
Yep, no worries, mate.
Mate, we might start with the smaller baits. I want to do your take on the new stuff. There's some barra lures here that I know Tommy's going to be all over. But here's some of the new stuff, these smaller lures.
Yep.
What do you got?
So this is our new 60 LT, so or LC. It's a long cast. So in the previous past, we've had like a thicker model.
Yep.
But this now has a casting weight in it, so it casts a mile, suspends out of the box.
Wow.
So bass, little jacks and stuff. This thing's going to be pretty epic.
Yeah.
Heap of new colours in it. It's got a magnetic cast weight, so it just clicks back in after you do your cast and all that sort of stuff, and then little flathead.
Over the flats as well, stalling it like that. Jai, can you come in, take a look at some of the finishes on these lures. Samaki's finishes are as good as they get. Take a look at that. What else have you got in there, Tommy?
So plenty of new colours in the 80, as you can see.
Yeah.
And then just last year we brought out our new 90, which has been awesome. It's a full through wire bait. It's got YS81s out of the box, suspends mint. And this one only dives about 7-8 foot, so we wanted something that goes a bit deeper when you're fishing deep timber and stuff like that. So Josh took a fair while to get this one right, but he's got it absolutely perfect now. And this is the new 90 DD, so same thing again, all through wire, comes with these big beefy trebles.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be great for those big barrows.
How deep is that getting on it? If you throw a long cast out, how far down are you going to be able to get that?
I reckon 15 foot, pretty easy. So.
Now, I actually did a review on these Samaki, the Reddies, the DS80, which I love for mangrove jack, and it was Tommy that got me onto those lures through his fishing for barra. Tommy, can you tell people a little bit how you use these for barra? Like, they're super effective. You've been right at the top of the barra game now for years.
Yep.
How are you using those when you're out there on those barra games?
So we sort of take it as like a finesse deal almost. Even though they're quite a big lure to most people, still for a metre plus fish, this is quite finesse. So we're trying to fish these on light line, and often pelagic fish that are swimming out in the middle of the dam, we can target these fish and just put it on their nose and they suspend perfect. So leaving it there in their face and just tempts those really shut down fish to get a few bites out of them.
Okay. Now, for someone that's going up to these dams and they don't know what sort of gear to take and to fish with something so small, what's your leader size?
50-pound leader, pretty much gets you out of trouble, and then 50-pound braid is pretty standard. And then when you get to your bigger plastics, you can always up it to your 60 and 70-pound leader. So.
Mate, that's great. Tommy, that's fantastic, mate.
No worries.
Now, look, you have to follow Tommy Wood on what he's doing. He's travelling, and next year he's going to the States.
Yeah, going to the States
Can you
next
tell us a
year.
bit about that?
Yeah, so doing a full year over there next year in the States as a pro angler fishing the Bassmaster Opens, and the goal is to qualify for the elites, but just going to see how we go. It's just all a learning experience. So
Right. I followed Carl over there.
Yeah.
And watching Carl those late nights up,
it's awesome.
my eyes are bleeding watching him going at it. I've learned so much from him doing that over there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see you over there, mate.
Oh man, I'm just so excited to learn all the new techniques and just get back into some bass. So
There's a
super
lot of
keen.
stuff that comes out from America, techniques and things that then flow out here.
Yep.
There's a little bit that you might be able to take over there too, eh?
Oh, 100%. Like I think just this live scope fishing with jerkbaits has been a great learning experience. Watching fish and watching how they react and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And our fish are quite spooky, so I think that's sort of going to help as well. Learn how to fish pressure fish. So,
Mate, I'm going to be watching, supporting you.
Cool.
And I hope all of you guys get on that and watch him into 2025. Mate, thanks a lot. I'm definitely going to be reviewing some of these small little estuary baits as well, folks. So stay tuned for that. We're going to keep rolling, have a look around, and bringing some of the new stuff from AFTA 2024 to you. All right, folks, Mick Molnar's designed lures, MMD lures. They're out of Eleonora. He's got some great design ideas and some new lures in his range. So come and check out what he's got this year at AFTA. Hey, mate, you good? Nice to see you, Simon. Mate, can you take us through these new Hardy heads here? Can you take us through what's the design features, how heavy they are, and how you might fish them if you're chasing?
New Hardy head, we've got a 90mm and 110mm in light and heavy. So light is 9.2 grams, so about the rate of a quarter ounce you get.
Okay.
And then the heavy 10.4, so sinks to about the rate of 3/8. So
Okay, yeah, that's
fishing
great.
right up on the flats, down to the edges, sort of depending on your current, 2, 3, 4 meters.
Yeah.
They're quite a unique little design, so they're slim lines, so they sink quite quickly, but they act like a jerkbait when you rip the rod.
You guys did really well with the Flathead Classic, chasing fish up on the flats down there. Is that how you were fishing, hopping and dropping down the flats?
Yep. Fishing around the weeds, so keeping it up out of the weed.
There's the flatfish as well, so another product from Mick this year. These are one of my favourite topwater lures for mangrove jack, so that's the MMD splash prawn. The 95 in these natural colours would be my favourite, but that tiny little one, that catches absolutely everything. One of my favourite topwater lures, and it's been around for years now. It's got the runs on the board. Well, this is one of my favourite stalls every year. Rapala have been upping the game with their finishes, the quality, and the range of stuff. And last year, I think it was, maybe last year was the first release of the Crushed City range. Now they've brought that back in with a couple of bigger sizes, smaller stuff. I've got reviews of that coming soon with some great fishing action. But I want to take you in here. We're going to see if we can grab Mick Horn, who's been key in designing all of this stuff, and he can talk us through some of their new products. Let's take a look.
So basically this year we've got a size extension range. So new Crush City, we've got a new 5 and 7 inch jerk. So I used to really like that little 375. So now we've got one for obviously guys throwing in the shallows for flatties, or even out the offshore chasing your pelagics on your, the the jerk shad.
Yep.
Also, 2 other new ones we got. We got the new heavy hitters.
He's coming to
three,
take a look at these.
a 3-inch and a 5.5 inch.
Yeah.
He's been deadly on the floody lately for me. And also now we've got the new big 4.5 inch imposter. So obviously it was one of our favourites from year one for most people, but we just obviously up the profile, sort of targeting more the barra, threadfin salmon, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Also for guys offshore chasing your commercials, all that kind of stuff.
Right, okay. These soft plastics have got, some of them have got this like infused colour that goes on the inside almost. It looks like it's inside the body. What's going on there, Mick?
So yeah, that was one
great.
pretty cool thing when we released year one. And one thing we wanted to do with it, and something a bit unique, is actually it's a core shot technology. Right. So they actually, it's actually shot inside the material before they actually shoot the second colour over the top. So that's why you get that. It does look like it is inside because it is. It's actually been shot inside it. So, and obviously sort of making that like there's an egg sac or something inside the thing, so it makes it a bit more natural.
There's been a lot of prawns released over the last few years, like prawns and shrimp patterns have been super popular. This is definitely right up there for me, and it's got a unique tail design, that little vibration. Awesome, the legs are great. The finishing Rapala gear is just amazing, but it's not just these plastics. I've had, you know, my favourite Jackall lure years ago was that X-Rap 10D.
Yep.
And it was then that the Rapala range started to get a much better colour range, but it's gone even better. And this year you've got those, is it the Shad Wraps?
Yeah, the Shad Wrap.
Can we take a look?
Yeah, so we got a new range, new size extension of them.
One of my favourite barra lures around timber as a diving lure, and you can store it, and for jacks.
So yeah, again, good thing about it, still Shad Wrap like the old Shad Wraps, but what we've done with these, we've actually beefed them up. They've got a full CNC frame inside them now, right through them.
Yeah.
So that's why they're called the Elite Series. But this year we've actually released a new 95 size, so it's obviously going to be suited to your barra. They're going to come barra ready with 3x hooks on them.
Like VMC hooks?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
VMC, tin hooks.
Yeah.
And yeah, the old Shad Wrap's been around for a long time and caught plenty of fish. And we've caught a few barra and stuff on them already. And like me, I love the mangrove jack fish, and I've caught a few jacks on them as well.
Is it a suspending lure?
No, being balsa, so it's like floating
Still quite
lure.
floaty.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And so maybe if you're jacking up heavier hooks or adding a little bit of weight to it, you get that suspension.
Yeah, we actually had some samples last year, and in the barra tour last year, we ran a little sticky weight underneath it so we could get it to suspend. So obviously being timber, you've got the option of whether you want something to back out of a snag, or you can do something like that, tricking it up, put a little weight on it, and you can get it to suspend.
Yeah. That little profile, I fished that when we travelled around Australia, the top end, all of the timber, those huge mangrove roots that you get and you want to fish in amongst those, having something like that can back up, come back down over the mangrove roots, that's a great little idea. This skitter pop, I grew up fishing these out of Hidden Stand, chasing bass in Saratoga, but there's a little bit of a difference to them now, the finish on them.
Again, it goes along with the Elite Series, so it has a similar sort of characteristics. It's got that full CNC frame inside it, goes right through. 95 we released last year. Now we've actually got one that's going to be suited for you, like chasing bass and hens.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like going to be a cracker size for your trevally, your jacks, all that kind of thing as well.
So again, with that Elite Series, stronger build through the centre and that kind of thing.
Yep, correct.
So if you're looking in the shops and you're trying to find something for barra, mangrove jack, those bigger fish that are going to try and rip the lures apart, that Elite Series.
Yeah, the Elite Series is definitely the way to go. So
Great.
We still have the old skitter pops and the Shad Wraps,
Yep.
but the Elite Series, we've just beefed it up. Yeah, so
Mick, thanks a lot, mate.
all good, man.
It's really good. I'm excited to go and fish a bit of this stuff now.
Yeah.
That's great. I appreciate your time. Every time. We've got to stop and have a chat with Matty if he's got time. They're setting up. It's about to get many. Kids are about to come running through those doors. Matty Fraser has been huge in the timber, handcrafted stuff in Australia for years now, and he's broken into a whole new area of his lure range. They're available in a whole lot of stores. You can check this stuff out. Come and take a look at what they've got.
Pretty ordinary, but it's all right.
This little topwater critter, have a look at these little assists front and back. He's always got some kind of cool engineering stuff going on. The little split ring sits in the top of the lure there. Really catchy little hooks. Being able to get a lure that's going to be more catchy for those little picky brims, something that sucks at the surface, like a little kissing brim, the sound that you've heard at topwater lures. Those little swinging assists might be able to just get sucked in a little bit easier to get that bite. It's an exciting little lure. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that look at AFTA 2024. And look, remember, these lures are available for pre-order now. I've got a little bit of stock left. They have been selling out and they are going to go. So if you want a Jack burner lure or my brand new paddle glide for giant, Jew, Barra and Murray cod, make sure you get online. You can click the link below this video and get your hands on those. They're being dispatched on the 1st of September. But there's a whole lot of action coming on this channel in the coming weeks. Stay tuned for that, folks, and I'll see you in the next one.